It's now for updates on sports stories from across the globe. Aaron Akirijola joins us. Good morning, Aaron, the Baron.
Yeah, good morning to you, and good morning to you, Doctor. Let's start it off with the big news about England international Jamie Vardy, who has said that at the end of the season he will be leaving Leicester City after an iconic career that saw him win a Premier League title back in 2016. No one would have ever thought that the Foxes will win the Premier League, and they went from struggling with relegation one season to winning the Premier League in another season. Of course, putting into context also winning the FA Cup, certainly cemented his legacy as one of the greatest in football there. So kudos to him and what he's been able to do with the Foxes. So he's got 198 goals, and I'm sure he'll be hoping that with the little time he's got, he'll be able to notch 200 goals. So certainly he'll be looking forward to how things will play out. Leicester City they've cemented their place in the Championship for next season. So as it actually stands right about now, that's how it's going to go. So we'll be looking at how things will actually play out with them and how things will, maybe he might even want to play for another club in England or probably go somewhere else, maybe the Championship or go to the Scottish Premier League, whatever the case may be. But he says his time with the Foxes, Leicester City, is done, and he'll be departing the King Power Stadium at the end of the season. Away from that, locally, we're going to be having a flurry of matches kicking off today. Then on Sunday, of course, Kano Pillars will be taking on Rivers United. Rivers United are chasing heavily what's going on in the Premier League with the hope that they can probably just hold on to a slender hope of probably winning the league. I don't think that is possible, because if you actually press it further, you get to see that Remo Stars have ultimately sewn up that particular title. It's just a matter of time and when the procession will happen one way or the other. Match day 34 is already done and dusted, so we're looking forward to match day 35, which will kick off this weekend. So looking forward to that. Quickly in other sports, of course, in the NBA, the players are still going on. Oklahoma City Thunder winning against the Memphis Grizzlies in that particular one. No time pressing it further. Also, in other results that actually came in from the playoffs, of course, Kawhi Leonard also doing it very well with the Clippers there against the Nuggets. So we've not gotten to the business end of the playoff, but we're getting exciting matchups as it stands right about now. And also, moving away from the NBA, I must also talk about the fact that Enola Baji, our own golden girl, has actually won an award, the 2024 African Women in Badminton Award. Kudos to her for what she's been able to do, because she's not stopped ever since the Olympics. She's just picked up from there, and she's winning medal after medal. In every tourney, in every meet she goes to, she's been doing so well. And the Confederation of Badminton, African Badminton, actually gave her this particular award, and I must celebrate her heavily for that, because she's a trailblazer, and long may it continue. And before we come into what to expect of this weekend, because a lot is going to be happening this weekend, Doctor, and it will change how things will project. Or probably let's go into what to expect this weekend. First of all, it's the Copa del Rey final. Barcelona, tomorrow, 9 p.m., we will be hosting Real Madrid. Real Madrid have had a very, very poor couple of weeks, and they'll be hoping to banish those demons when they take on Barcelona, and hope that their only trophy this season, which is the likeliest. And also, it will spell the opportunity for Ancelotti to leave on a high, because as it stands right now, they say after this game, win or lose, he will be departing. Although Ancelotti says he's going to be there till the end of the season, but the talks within the boardroom of Real Madrid says that this is his final hurrah. And I'm sure the players will want to actually sound it off on a high. Let's see what actually happens. Also, the FA Cup will be kicking off, of course, top of the pile is semi-finals, Wembley Stadium. All is expected. Manchester City against Nottingham Forest is the big one that will be happening on Sunday. And in boxing, Conor Ben will be taking on Chris Eubank Jr. And they'll be trying to reprise all that has happened in time past, from fathers to sons, right about now.
Right. right. Well, looking at Remo Stars, I believe they're confirmed to take part in the CAF Championship.
Yeah,
and now there's that increase in funding coming from CAF to these teams. Before it was 50,000, but Patrice Motsepe has assured that this time around it's going to be increased. That's fantastic news, but I'm always curious as to how this money is spent. Does it actually get to the players? Does it benefit the league in any way whatsoever? Because it should. I'm asking if it does. Does it actually happen?
Remo are an exception. Because Remo are well-funded, a well-oiled machine. The Kenneth team, they are being backed by a Nigerian billionaire, talking about Kule Shoname. And what Kule Shoname has been able to do is unprecedented amongst them. The players themselves will be happy because that will mean that funding will actually increase for them and they'll get more bonuses and the rest of them. It's good times for Remo Stars. They've invested a lot of money and they're beginning to reap the dividends of all the investment over the years.
Good for them.
Well, Remo Stars are the top of the Nigerian football, professional football league.
Yes.
But today, the critical match is between Rivers United and Kano Pillars.
Yes.
Kano Pillars, four-time champions in the league. Rivers United, being managed by Finidi George now, they are looking for a second title. But it's either they have a draw. If they have a draw today, they will still have some hope. If they lose,
it's over.
Then of course, Remo United can just as well claim the title. The Kano Pillars too is going to fight very hard because they are hoping that they will get a chance to be in the CAF Confederation Cup. Now, as for Jamie Vardy, well, he's had a very brilliant career. 298 goals, right?
198 goals.
198 goals for the Foxes.
Yeah.
26 appearances for England.
Yes.
And in the course of that career, some people say that he was a man of a strong character, playing for Leicester City for 13 years.
Yes, he did.
And that in the course of that career, he will go down in history as the strongest ever player so far in the history of the Leicester City. But it's ironic, Leicester City is now in relegation. But he says that, well, he may be leaving, but, he will still play football. Well, I'm sure that he will find, buyers for his talent. Maybe he will go to Saudi Arabia. But in terms of the legacy that he's leaving behind, it's something remarkable that he has done. As for Enola Baji, congratulations to her. She's the second Nigerian to win that African Women's badminton award. Before it was Sholaga, right, in 2019. Yeah, so now Nigeria again. And it says something that, look, there are other areas of talent in sports.
Other than football.
Other than football.
True.
That Nigeria can invest in.
True.
This is badminton. In Mauritius, Nigerian weightlifters are also doing very well.
Yes, they are.
So this should be the lesson for,
No, kudos must go to the National Sports Commission because what they've decided to do this time around is to ensure that football is not getting all the monies, that these monies are being spread abroad, that weightlifting is getting some, badminton are getting. If you can actually compete at a global level, you should get funding, and that's what's been happening, and I must say kudos to them. And the athletes should take this because athletes need to be serious too. So many of them are just there for the jamboree.
We'll praise the stars.
Without a doubt.
Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure.